Welcome students, myself SC Kunde from Gokhale Education Societies, JDC Bitco, English Medium High School, Nasik Road. Previously, I have started lesson number 12, study of sound. In this lesson, we have studied sound waves, velocity of sound, types of sound, that is audible sound, infrasound and ultrasound. Now we are going to study the next topic, reflection of sound. What do you mean by reflection of sound? When sound travels in a given medium, it strikes the surface of another medium and bounces back in some other direction. This phenomenon is called the reflection of sound, and the waves are called the incident and reflected sound waves. See here, one activity is given in this picture. Make two sufficiently long identical tubes out of a cardboard. Arrange them on a table in front of a wall as shown in the diagram. Place a clock near the end of one of the tube and try to hear the ticking of the clock at the end of the other tube by placing your ear there. Adjust the angle of the two tubes till you can hear the sound very clearly. Measure the angle of incidence theta 1 and the angle of reflection theta 2. Try to see if they are related in any way. Like light waves, sound waves to get reflected from a solid or a liquid surface. These waves also follow the law of reflection. A smooth or a rough surface is needed for the reflection of sound. The direction of the incident sound wave and reflected sound waves make equal angles with the perpendicular to the surface, and all these three lie in the same plane. Good and bad reflector of sound. How much of the incident sound gets reflected decides whether a reflector is good or a bad reflector. A hard and flat surface is a good reflector, while clothes, papers, curtains, furnitures, etc. absorb sound instead of reflecting it, and therefore they are called bad reflector of sound. Next topic is echo. You must have visited an echo point at a hill station. If you shout loudly at such a point, you hear the same sound just after a little while. This sound is called an echo. An echo is the repetition of the original sound because of reflection by some surface. In order to be able to hear the original sound and its reflection at 22 degrees Celsius. What must the minimum distance between the source and the reflecting surface? At 22 degrees Celsius, the velocity of sound in air is 344 meter per second. Our brain retains a sound for 0.1 second. Thus, for us to be able to hear a distinct echo, the sound should take more than 0.1 second after starting from the source to get reflected and come back to us. Thus, we can determine the minimum distance between the source and the reflecting surface is distance is equals to speed into time. That is equals to 344 meter per second into 0.1 second, and that is equals to 34.4 meter. Thus, to be able to hear distinct echo, the reflecting surface should be at a minimum distance of half of the above, that is 17.2 meter. As the velocity of sound depends on the temperature of air, the distance depends on the temperature. Next topic is reverberation. Now, what is exactly the reverberation? When we are going to an empty house or closed house with your friend, and when you are chatting with your friends in that empty house, that time what you sense? Your voice will coming a multiple time, and that is exactly the reverberation. Sound waves gets reflected from the wall and roof of a room multiple times. This causes a single sound to be heard not once but continuously, and this is called reverberation. The time between successive reflection of a particular sound wave reaching us becomes smaller and reflected sounds get mixed up and produce a continuous sound of increased loudness which cannot be deciphered clearly. This is the reason why some auditorium or some particular seats in an auditorium have inferior sound receptions. Next topic is sonar. Now, what is exactly the sonar system? A sonar device sends pulses of sound waves down through the water. When these pulses hit objects like fish, vegetation, or the bottom, they are reflected back to the surface. The sonar device measures how long it takes for the sound wave to travel down, hit an object, and then bounce back up. Sonar is the short form for sound navigation and ranging. It is used to determine the direction, distance, and speed of an underwater object with the help of ultrasonic sound waves. Sonar has a transmitter and receiver which are fitted on ships or boats. The transmitter produces and transmits ultrasonic sound waves. These waves travel through water, strike underwater objects and get reflected by them. The reflected waves are received by the receiver on the ship. The receiver converts the ultrasonic sound into electrical signal, and these signals are properly interpreted. The time difference between transmission and reception is noted. This time and the velocity of sound in water give the distance from the ship of the object which reflects the waves. Sonar is used to determine the depth of the sea. Sonar is also used to search underwater hills, valleys, submarines, icebergs, etc. Next topic is sonography. This technology uses ultrasonic sound waves to generate images of internal organ of the human body. This is useful in finding out the cause of swelling, infection, pain, etc. The condition of the heart, the state of the heart after a heart attack, as well as the growth of the fetus inside the womb of a pregnant woman are studied using this sonography technique. This technique makes use of a probe and a gel. The gel is used to make proper contact between the skin and the probe so that the full capacity of the ultrasound can be utilized. The gel is applied to the skin outside the internal organ to be studied. High frequency ultrasound is transmitted inside the body with the help of the probe. The sound reflected from the internal organ is again collected by the probe and fed to a computer which generates the image of the internal organ. As this method is painless, it is increasingly used in medical practice for correct diagnosis. Structure of human ear. The ear is an important organ of the human body. We hear sound because of our ear. When sound waves falls on the eardrum, it vibrates. These vibrations are converted into electrical signal which travel to the brain through nerves. The ear can be divided into three parts: outer ear, middle ear and inner ear. First is outer ear, or it is also called as pinna. The outer ear collects the sound waves and passes them through a tube to a cavity in the middle ear. Its peculiar funnel like shape helps to collect and pass sound into the middle ear. Then next is middle ear. There is a thin membrane in the cavity of the middle ear called the eardrum. When a compression in a sound waves reaches the eardrum, the pressure outside it increases and it gets pushed inward. The opposite happens when a rarefaction reaches there. The pressure outside decreases and the membrane gets pulled outward. Thus, the sound waves cause vibrations of the membrane. Third is inner ear. The auditory nerve connects the inner ear to the brain. The inner ear has a structure resembling the shell of a snail. It is called the cochlea. The cochlea receives the vibrations coming from the membrane and convert them into electrical signals, which are sent to the brain through the nerve. The brain analyzes these signals. Always remember, the ear is an important sensory organ of our body. Stick or other pointed object should never be inserted into the ear for cleaning it. Also, one should not hear a very loud music using earphone. It may causes injury to the eardrum.